I want you to imagine something with Maymedjin walking into a room, your heels clicking softly on the marble, the faint scent of your perfume lingering in the air, and feeling, without saying a single word, how the entire energy in that space bends ever so slightly in your presence. You can feel the subtle glances, the micro expressions, the unconscious shifts in posture, as if everyone senses there is a force in the room that is not just beauty, not just charm, but something else entirely, something intangible, something almost sacred, and yet undeniably magnetic. This is not something that can be learned from a dating app or a self-help book. This is the art of aura, the science of presence, the unspoken signature of a woman who knows her worth before anyone else does. I know it sounds like an exaggeration, but I promise you it isn't. I've watched it happen countless times. In boardrooms where men think they are in control. In elegant lounges where women's energy becomes the center of attention. And even in casual coffee shops where someone simply standing with self-possession shifts the entire dynamic of conversation without uttering a word. I remember this one evening, sipping a glass of vintage red in a dimly lit bar in Manhattan, and noticing a man's eyes follow me. Not in lust, not in admiration, but with the unmistakable recognition of power, a subtle acknowledgement that there was a presence here he could feel but could not quantify. Like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Frustratingly impossible, but utterly captivating. This is why aura is not about being noticed or being seen, it's about being felt. And women who master this, women who understand the invisible architecture of their own energy, become magnetic in ways that most men and even many women cannot comprehend. It's not arrogance. It's chemistry, psychology, and philosophy woven into the very way you breathe, the way you pause, the way you allow the world to catch up to you. And let me tell you, if you are someone who craves attention, you'll never fully understand this, because the aura isn't about giving it. It's about radiating it. Consistently, effortlessly, luxuriously. And as I speak to you now, I want you to feel this stirring inside you. This realization that you are not here to blend in. You are here to be a force, a ripple in the room that cannot be ignored. This is why I want you to comment below. While you're listening, your biggest takeaway, even as you do, you'll notice a subtle shift in how you carry yourself, how your chest lifts, how your eyes glimmer just slightly more knowingly. Because aura is contagious. And once you understand it, you will never, ever settle for being ordinary again. And as we move forward together in this conversation, know that what I'm about to reveal is not fluff. It's the inner mechanics of feminine magnetism, the philosophy, the psychology, and yes, the luxury of owning yourself unapologetically. In every glance, every word, every silence, there's a reason men are drawn to women whose aura cannot be defined. Feel it in the way their pulse quickens without warning. In the fleeting moments when a glance meets yours and something unspoken passes between you. And here's the secret. They will never be able to explain it. Because it is not meant to be explained. It exists in the gaps of perception, in the subtleties of energy, in the quiet knowledge that this woman is not merely occupying space, is commanding it. Effortlessly, elegantly, imperceptibly. I remember guiding a friend, someone new to understanding her own presence, through a simple exercise. Walk into a room and pretend no one is paying attention to you. Observe what happens. The energy shifts, almost imperceptibly at first. And then, in waves, people mirror your posture, unconsciously, gravitate towards the calm authority you emit, even if you're saying nothing at all. And in that, there is liberation. Because when you master your aura, you no longer chase, you no longer beg, you no longer explain, you simply are. And the world responds. Think about this philosophically for a moment. Plato once said, "The measure of a man is what he does with power." But the truth is, the measure of a woman is not just her power, but how she allows that power to ripple without resistance, without effort, without the need to prove or justify. That's why the most magnetic women I know are often those who appear calm, distant even, yet entirely captivating. They do not chase attention. They attract it by sheer force of their energy. And the men around them feel it as a subtle pull they cannot name. A mix of admiration, curiosity, and, dare I say, desire. And I want you to understand that this is not about manipulation, it is about self-mastery. About understanding that your energy is your most valuable asset. More so than your outfit, your smile, or even your voice. Every gesture, every pause, every slow blink is a note in the symphony of your aura. And the more deliberate you are, the more magnetic you become. So while you're watching this, begin to notice the way your own energy shifts as you internalize these truths. Because this is the moment where the ordinary ends and the extraordinary begins. And yes, you should subscribe and turn on notifications. Because mastery is not a one-time lesson, it's a journey. And I will guide you every step of the way. And I want you to comment your biggest takeaway, because as soon as you do, you are committing to stepping into your power. Now, let's talk about the subtle, almost invisible hacks that make aura palpable, and why men respond to it in ways they can't rationally explain. First, it is posture. But not posture as in standing tall for vanity, it is posture as in owning every centimeter of the space around you. Lean slightly into your own presence. Let your shoulders settle naturally. Let your spine lengthen not out of effort, but as a statement of inevitability. I exist fully, and nothing can unbalance me. Second, it is tone, but not the kind of tone that screams authority, it is the quiet, melodic cadence in your speech that carries self-possession. The kind of voice that is heard because it is not competing for attention, but because it commands it. Third, it is selective interaction. Noticing who deserves your energy and who doesn't. Understanding that every exchange of attention is a currency. And being deliberate with where you spend it. I've personally observed this in elegant lounges, in private gatherings, even at luxury retail events, where women who mastered these subtle elements didn't need to raise their voice, wear the flashiest dress, or laugh the loudest. They simply exuded an undeniable pull. And men, even unconsciously, leaned in, paid attention, and yet could never articulate why. And here's where philosophy meets practical psychology. Carl Jung said, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart." And that is exactly what aura mastery is: looking inward, refining your own energy, understanding the subtle triggers of human psychology, and choosing to embody a presence that is both irresistible and untouchable. I want you to imagine this in your life, entering every room with a quiet dominance, knowing you can influence the atmosphere without saying a word, having men feel an inexplicable desire, admiration, or even mild awe, and feeling, as a woman, that this power is entirely yours, natural and luxurious. And as I speak to you now, I want you to feel this deep resonance, because this is the moment where theory becomes practice, curiosity becomes mastery, and every woman watching this can begin to feel the shift. Not tomorrow, not next week, but no, because aura is immediate, and energy is contagious. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment your biggest realization so far, because the moment you commit to these subtle practices, you will start to notice the change in real time, in real spaces, with real people, and it's intoxicating. Finally, I want you to understand that this mastery is not fleeting. It is not superficial. It is not dependent on beauty or luck. It is the slow, deliberate cultivation of a presence that men will feel, women will notice, and the world will instinctively respect. I've had moments, luxurious dinners under chandeliers, quiet rooftop lounges, where I simply existed, my aura doing the work, and the men around me, friends, strangers, colleagues, reacted, leaned in, without a word being spoken. It is intoxicating, not because of manipulation, but because of authenticity and control. It is the art of knowing your value, and allowing it to radiate with elegance and subtle dominance. The real secret, the one most women never grasp, is that aura is not something you can fake or force. It must emerge from mastery over yourself, your energy, your choices, and your mindset. And so I want you, as you watch this, to make a promise to yourself that you will not settle for ordinary attention, that you will cultivate this subtle dominance, that you will radiate energy so potent, so magnetic, that men feel it but cannot explain it, and women see it and aspire to it. This is the femme-foria way of queens, of women who refuse to be ordinary, who move through the world with elegance, control, and irresistible energy. So comment below. Tell me which secret will you implement first. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on notifications. And know that from this moment, nothing in your presence will ever feel accidental again. You are now the architect of your own aura, the master of unseen influence, and every space you enter will recognize your presence before you even speak. Remember this, carry it, breathe it, live it, and watch the subtle, undeniable power ripple through your world. Because this is your moment, and you are unstoppable. And if you feel that spark right now, comment "I needed this," because this is not just a lesson, it's your awakening.